Hello friends, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Rasayan Setu. So friends, in this video we are going to discuss previous year questions of coordination chemistry which was asked in CSIR NET June 2015 exam. Okay, so let's start. Now see, this is your first question and it says match the complexes given in column first with the electronic transition mainly responsible for their colors listed in column second. Okay, so we have some complexes in column first and we have some electronic transitions in column second. So you must match the column from column A first to column second. Okay, and you must select the correct answer out of these four options. And this question is coming for 4 marks. That is, this question is related to your part C. Understand? Okay, so let's do the solution of this question. Now see friends, first of all we talk about the complex second and third. So in complex it has MnH2O whole 6 Cl2. Okay, that means in this complex the manganese is present in +2 oxidation state. In this complex manganese is present in +2 oxidation state. Understand? And you know very well that H2 acts as a weak field ligand. H2 is a weak field ligand. That means this complex is a high spin complex. So the in this high spin complex, the electronic configuration of manganese 2 plus ion is 3d5 electronic configuration. So it is a 3d5 high spin complex. Understand? It is a 3d5 high spin complex. Now when we draw the splitting pattern of this d orbitals in case of this octahedral field, see, in case of octahedral field these d orbitals are split into lower T2g orbitals and higher Eg orbitals. This is a splitting pattern present in octahedral field. Okay, and this, because this is a 3d5 high spin complex, that means there is no pairing occurs for in the d orbitals, in the electrons of d orbitals. So that means these 5 electrons are present in this manner. Okay, now see, in this condition the total spin multiplicity of this system will be, we know that the spin total spin associated with a single electron is half. Okay, spin shown by single electron is half. So here 5 single electrons present in each of d orbital. That means its total value of s will be half plus half plus half plus half plus half. That means it will be 5 by 2. Okay, now when we irradiate this complex, when you irradiate this complex, so what phenomena occurs after irradiation? We know very well that when we irradiated complex, there is a transition of electrons occur from lower orbital to higher orbital. This is known as electronic transition. So when you irradiate this complex, here one electron is transferred from lower T2g to higher Eg orbital. Okay, so after irradiation, that is H nu, there is a dd transition occur from lower T2g orbital to higher Eg orbital. That means a single electron transition from lower T2g to higher Eg orbital. So after the irradiation, in T2g orbitals 2 electrons are present and in Eg orbitals 3 electrons are present, out of which one is paired electrons. Okay, so this is T2g orbitals and this is Eg orbitals, and when you radiate this sample, one electron transfer of one electron from lower T2g to higher Eg orbital occurs. Okay, so now in this condition the value of total spin will be 3 by 2, because here only 3 electrons are present in unpaired condition. One electron pair is present. In this condition 5 electrons are unpaired, but in this condition only 3 electrons are unpaired. So total spin for these 3 electrons are half plus half plus half, that is 3 by 2. Understand? Now that means here the value of the difference in between the S is 1. Okay, so here the value of delta S will be 1. After irradiation, the total spin change from 5 by 2 to 3 by 2. That means the difference between the spin is 1. So that means delta S is not equals to 0. In this condition, delta S is not equals to 0. And you know very well that in electronic transition of octahedral complexes, there is a selection rule for the DD allowed transition that states that all DD transition are allowed transition when there is no spin change occurs. Okay, or we can say that spin allowed transition, there is a spin only those transitions are spin allowed transition according to a selection rule. Okay, so this is known as your spin selection rule. So according to this spin selection rule, because here the value of delta S will not equals to 0, so this is spin forbidden transition. Okay, according to spin selection rule. So according to spin selection rule, this transition is DD spin forbidden transition. Understand? So this transition is DD spin forbidden transition. Okay, because delta is not equals to 0. Now we talk about third option, that is in column first we have also another cobalt complex in third option. Okay, so this complex is CO, complex of cobalt, CO H2O whole 6 Cl2. So now in this complex cobalt is also present in +2 oxidation state, and here H2 is also act as a weak field ligand. So that means in this condition this complex is high spin complex. Okay, and electronic configuration is cobalt 2 plus and is 3d7. So this is a 3d7 high spin complex, 3d7 high spin complex. Okay, now in splitting pattern, because it is also a octahedral complex, there is a same splitting pattern follow. The d orbitals of this metal orbitals split into lower T2g and higher Eg orbitals. Okay, and because it is a high spin complex, so this electron are present in fill in this way. There are 3 single electrons present and 2 electron pairs are present. Okay, and now when you irradiate this sample, here we also observe a DD transition. That means when you irradiate this complex, a single electron can transfer from lower T2g to higher Eg orbital. Okay, so after irradiation, see, one electron jump from lower T2g to higher Eg orbital. Okay, so now in this condition, this is the electronic, this is the pattern you observe after irradiation. This pattern is observed before irradiation and this pattern observed after irradiation of this sample. Okay, now here the value of total spin will be, see, here 3 unpaired electrons are present, 1, 2 and 3. So its value will be half plus half plus half, that is 3 by 2. Okay, and in this condition the value of total spin will also be 3 by 2. See, here also 3 unpaired electrons are present, that is half plus half plus half. So the value of total spin in this condition is also 3 by 2. Now that means here S is 3 by 2 and here S is 3 by 2. So that means here the value of delta S will be 0. Okay, so now this is a DD spin allowed transition according to your spin selection rule. Okay, because here the value of delta S cannot be changed. So this type of transitions are spin allowed transition. So according to spin selection rule, this transition is the spin allowed transition. Okay, so in second complex it is dd spin forbidden, and in third complex it is dd allowed transition. Now you match the column, that what option matches with what option. So when you carefully observe, you see that in option 1 it will be matched, that the second one is matches with C. See in the corner, the second option matches with C, that is spin forbidden dd transition. Okay, the third one is matches with B, that is spin allowed transition. Okay, and for first complex, in this transition we observe pi to pi anti-bonding transition. Okay, so that means your first complex is related to your option A for of column second. The second complex is related to your option C of column second, and the third complex is related to your option B of column second. Okay, and this is your option number 1. This is your option number 1. Understand friends? Okay, so option number 1 is the correct answer for this question. See once again the whole solution of this question. So here it is depends on your spin selection rule. The solution of this question, it depends on spin selection rule. When there is no difference in between total spin before irradiation and after irradiation, that means there is a spin allowed dd transition. And when there is a difference before irradiation and after irradiation, that means there is a spin forbidden transition. Understand? Okay. Okay, now we move towards our next question, and see it says among the complexes A, B, C and D, John-Taylor distortion is expected in, and we have 4 options, that is first, second, third and fourth. So out of these options you must find that what complexes show John-Taylor distortion. Understand? And this question is also coming for 4 marks. That means this question is also related to your part C. Okay, so let's do the solution of this question, friends. Now what is the concept behind John-Taylor distortion in octahedral complexes? See once again, these all complexes are octahedral complexes. Okay, so in octahedral complexes, John-Taylor distortion are shown by those complexes in which Eg or T2g orbitals are unsymmetrically filled. Understand? When T2g or Eg orbitals are unsymmetrically filled, John-Taylor distortion observed. So it means for checking that complex shows John-Taylor distortion, you must check the electronic configuration of that complex. Okay, now we check one by one. See, for A it will be K4 Cr Cn6. For this complex it will be Cr Cn6 4 minus. That means in this complex chromium is present in +2 oxidation state. Okay, because Cn is a negative ligand, so this will be balanced by this primary valency. So the oxidation state of chromium is +2. Okay, and Cn is also a strong field ligand. Understand? So that means the electronic configuration of this chromium will be 3d4, low spin, because Cn is a strong field ligand, and 3d4 low spin means the pattern of the splitting pattern in this complex is all 4 electrons are present in T2g orbital, that is T2g4 and Eg0. Okay, this is a splitting pattern observed in this complex because it is a low spin complex. So all 4 electrons can pair up. Okay, now that means 4 electrons are present in T2g orbital of the T2g orbital of this complex. That means it is a unsymmetrically filled. It is unsymmetrically filled. Okay, so John-Taylor distortion is shown by this complex, because here we say that T2g or Eg orbitals are unsymmetrically filled. Symmetrically filled condition, T2g have 3 orbitals, that means 3 orbitals are present in each orbital. So this is a symmetrical condition. And for Eg it has 2 orbitals, so that means 2 electrons are present 2 electrons are present in each orbital. So it is a symmetrical condition. But when this condition disturbed, that means in T2g orbitals electrons are present other than 3 in number, that means it is an unsymmetrical condition. Similarly for Eg orbital, so here in T2g 4 electrons are present. Okay, so that means it is an unsymmetrically filled condition. So this complex shows John-Taylor distortion. Now for B complex, it will be K4 Fe Cn6. That means here Fe Cn6 4 minus. Iron present in +2. It is a 3d6 low spin complex. Means in iron +2 oxidation state, it has 3 electrons in its d orbitals, and because it is a low spin complex, so all these 6 electrons are present in lower T2g orbital, that is T2g6, and this will be Eg0. So now this means here T2g are symmetrically filled because all orbitals are completely filled. Okay, so it is again a symmetrically filled condition for T2g orbital, and here there is no electron in Eg, so it means it is a symmetrical condition though. So this complex cannot show John-Taylor distortion. Now in C, this is K3 CO Cn6. Now in this condition, CO Cn6 3 minus, that means cobalt present in +3. This is also a 3d6 low spin condition. The electronic configuration for this cobalt 3+ ion is 3d6. Okay, and this is a low spin complex. Why? Because it has also a strong field ligand. So 3d6 low spin means its electronic configuration is also T2g6 Eg0. Now in this condition also it has symmetrically filled T2g orbital. So that means this complex also doesn't show John-Taylor distortion. Okay. Now for complex D, it is K4 MnCn6. Now in this condition it is MnCn6 4 minus. That means manganese present in +2 oxidation state. And in +2 oxidation state, its electronic configuration is 3d5, and it is also a low spin. Why low spin? Because it also contains a strong field ligand. So for 3d5 low spin, the splitting pattern is all 5 electrons are present in T2g orbital. So T2g5 Eg0. So this is again unsymmetrically filled condition, because in because in T2g orbital it has 5 electrons, which is unsymmetrical condition. Okay, when T2g orbital contains 3 or 6 electrons, this is a symmetrical condition. Similarly, when Eg orbitals contain 2 or 4 electrons, this is a symmetrically filled condition. But here T2g orbital contain 4, here T2g orbital contain 5 electrons. So this is an unsymmetrically filled condition. So that means your complex D will also show John-Taylor distortion. Okay. So out of these 4 complexes, the complex A and D can show John-Taylor distortion. John-Taylor distortion. Okay. Now according to this result, your option number 3 can relate it with this result, which contain option A and D. So option 3 is the right answer for this question, friends. Understand? Okay. Now we move towards our next question, and see, it says the complex this where PHEN is equals to 110 phenanthroline shows spin crossover behavior, CFSE and spin magnetic moment at 250 and 150 Kelvin respectively are, and we have 4 options. Okay, so friends, in this question we have this complex, and this complex shows spin crossover behavior. So you must find the CFSE and the magnetic moment values at 250 and 150 Kelvin. Okay, and this question is also coming for 4 marks. That means this question is also related to your part C. Okay, so let's do the solution of this question. So we have this complex 110 phenanthroline NCS2. Okay, here iron present in +2 oxidation state, and in iron +2 the electronic configuration of iron +2 is 3d6. So it is a 3d6 complex, and in this question we have data that says that it shows spin crossover. And what is a spin crossover behavior? So spin crossover behavior is that in spin crossover at high temperature this complex show high spin, and at low temperature this complex show low spin. Okay, so what is a spin crossover? A spin crossover means at high temperature complex shows high spin, and at low temperature complex shows low spin. So that means at high temperature means 250 Kelvin it is 3d6 high spin complex, and at 150 Kelvin, that is low temperature, it is 3d6 low spin complex. Now on the basis of this high spin and low spin, you must find the value of CFSE and the magnetic moment. Okay, now 3d6 high complex means its electronic configuration will be T2g4 Eg2. That means 4 electrons are present in lower T2g orbital and 2 electrons are present in higher Eg orbital. And 3d6 low spin means all 6 electrons are present in lower T2g orbital. Okay, so it means at higher temperature the splitting pattern is T2g4 Eg2, and here splitting pattern is T2g6 Eg0. Now first of all we must find the values of CFSE at 250 and 150 Kelvin. So we know very well that there is a general formula for finding CFSE that states that minus 0.4 into P plus 0.6 into Q del O. This is a general formula for finding CFSE in octahedral complexes, where small p is related to your number of electrons present in T2g orbitals and small q related to your number of electrons present in EG orbitals. Okay. So now friends, CFSE at 250 Kelvin C. For in this case, the value of CFSE will be minus 0.4 multiplied by P, that is number of electron present in T2g orbital, which is 4 plus 0.6 multiplied by Q, that is number of electrons present in EG orbital, that is 2 del O. So this will be CFSE is equals to minus 1.6 plus 1.2 del O. So this will be, when you solve this equation, you get the value of CFSE at 250 Kelvin, that is minus 0.4 del O. Similarly, we also find the value of CFSE at 150 Kelvin. So in this condition, see the number of T2g electrons is 6, okay. So it will be minus 0.4 into 6 plus the number of EG electrons is 0. So it will be 0.6 into 0 del O, okay. Now in this condition, when you solve this equation, you get the value of CFSE, that is minus 2.4 del O. So at 250 Kelvin the value of CFSE is minus 0.4 del O, and at 150 Kelvin the value of CFSE is minus 2.4 del O. Similarly we have a general formula for finding magnetic moment in octahedral complexes, for finding spin only magnetic moment in octahedral complexes. And the formula for is finding spin only magnetic moment, that is mu is equals to under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. This is a general formula for finding spin only magnetic moment in your octahedral complexes, where n is number of unpaired electrons present in your complex, present in your d orbital of that complex, okay. So now mu for 250 mu in the condition of 250 Kelvin, okay. In this condition at 250 Kelvin, the electronic configuration is T2g4 Eg0, okay. And in this condition, you clearly see that it has 4 unpaired electrons. So the value of n in this 250 Kelvin condition is 4. So value of n is 4. So it means mu is equals to 4 multiplied by 4 plus 2. That is 4 plus 2, 6 multiplied by 4 under root 24. So the value of under root 24 will be 4.90 Bohr magneton approximately, okay. So the value of mu at 250 Kelvin is 4.90 Bohr magneton, and the value of CFSE is minus 0.4 del O. Similarly here the value of mu will be, see in this condition it has T2g6 Eg0, that means all electrons are in paired condition. So the value of n is 0. So that means the value of mu is also under root 0, or you can say 0, okay. So this complex, so this low spin complex can't show spin only magnetic moment, and its value will be minus 2.4 del O, where at 250 Kelvin this complex show magnetic moment and its value will be 4.90 Bohr magneton, and CFSE value at 250 Kelvin is minus 0.4 del O, okay. So now on the basis of this data, you clearly see that this option is related to your option number first, okay. So option number first is the correct answer for this question. Understand friends, okay. See once again the whole solution of this question, okay. So friends ये था आपके कुछ क्वेश्चन कोऑर्डिनेशन केमिस्ट्री टॉपिक से, जो CSIR नेट जून 2015 एग्जाम में आपसे पूछे गए थे, ओके फ्रेंड्स। आई होप आपको सॉल्यूशन समझ आए होंगे, लेकिन फिर भी किसी भी तरह की डिफ़िकल्टी आती है तो प्लीज़ कमेंट सेक्शन में आके ज़रूर पूछिए। सो थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।